James Cano here, and I'm here with Lewis Cape, a former retail manager for H&M, which is something I aspire to be after I complete college. And Lewis is going to tell you a little about himself.
All right, so I used to work for H&M, and that's a clothing store. I was a manager there, and my responsibilities were just daily tasks. On top of that, I looked over hiring and development of the employees. We kind of oversaw all of their development while they were with us. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So what was the most challenging task as a manager for H&M?
Most challenging task as a general manager in general is just really, learning how to address all your employees. Employees are mostly what you'll be overseeing. No manager can run the whole store on their own. So without their employees, they're pretty much nothing. So just learning about your employees, understanding their strengths and weaknesses was always a daily responsibility.
And what was the day-to-day routine for you?
Day-to-day routine, as a manager, you would get there, if you're opening, you would oversee the daily tasks, getting the store ready for the day, assigning shifts, ensuring all your employees are coming in on time, and then overseeing the day as it would progress through. Throughout the day, there's different rushes you're going to get throughout the day, and just kind of monitoring all, assigning breaks, following through with breaks, and then kind of just going with the punches, because you're going to have days where people are going to be asking all these questions and situations happen, and you're just kind of learning as you go around sometimes.
What steps did it take to become a manager at H&M?
So originally I was hired on as a manager, but my previous retail experience is what got me there. I was with the previous company before. I started as a part-time sales specialist and grew within the company there and grew to be manager there, and then eventually I transferred over. So really I was hired kind of within my previous job, and once I had a few years behind me of retail management, I was able to apply to a job as another retail manager. And it was a promotion when I moved over, so I took on even more responsibilities than I previously had.
What's your favorite part of the job?
So because I had a focus on developing employees, my favorite part of the job was hiring on an employee and seeing them grow to learn within the company and actually move up. So I have a lot of employees even now that I communicate with who have gone on to do better things. But I remember the first day I hired them, promoted them to full-time, and then now they're training on themselves to be managers in other places. And thanks to things like Facebook, I can actually see the progression, and that's always rewarding to know that I had that part of me is in that employee now. Occasionally I run into them and they'll reach out to me and tell me what they're doing, and it's really great for me to hear that they're succeeding. When they personally thank me for teaching them what I know, it's really rewarding for me.
That's awesome. Now tell me, what's the most disappointing part of the job?
Disappointing part of the job?
What do you least look forward to? So like firing employees, letting someone
That's really
go?
negative though, I would never say that. Least look forward to?
I'll re-ask it.
Yeah, maybe something's not so negative. Actually, you can ask it again, I think I have an answer.
What's the part of the job you least look forward to?
Occasionally, the daily tasks can get a little mundane. It's kind of the same process in and out. So sometimes you kind of look forward to things to be a little bit different. So when you have a crazy customer that's really upset, it actually adds some excitement to the day. And that's usually exciting more so than it's bad to hear. So if customers get upset, it's not like, oh, well, you're upsetting me. It's more like, this is kind of interesting. Like, you've added some extra spice to my day, as opposed to just, every day the same old tasks.
Awesome. And how would you handle a difficult customer?
So different customers, it happens all the time. One thing you want to do is, generally you're concerned about what has upset them. So usually my approach is to kind of approach the situation, approach the customer. Usually at this point they've been approached by, they've already talked to one of my specialists, and they're already unhappy. So they're calling me over to kind of fix a problem. So first getting there is I want to make sure that I listen to the customer to find out what's going on and what's going on and what brings them to this point where they feel like they need me. So just listening is key. And then generally I'm usually concerned because if there's a problem, I want to fix it. It could be a number of things that brings them in here. So I listen to them, find out what's going on, and then I just assess the situation and try to find a solution for them. It's great when there's a solution I can actually come up with. Occasionally, there's rules and guidelines I have to follow as well. And I make clear to the customer what I'm able to do, that I will do for him or her, and if I'm not able to, unfortunately I'm not. Occasionally that's not as pleasant as just telling them straight out hey, I can help you. But that's kind of how it is sometimes. Occasionally, it's more rare than not that you get a customer who's asking for something a little excessive. and I'm not able to do it for them, unfortunately. That's unfortunate, and when you have those conversations with customers, though, whenever you're not able to give them what they need and what they want, you at least you were clear in listening to them and understand where they're coming from. You can express to them that unfortunately you're not able to, so that way they at least leave knowing that you've done what you can.
So what advice would you give to someone like me looking to be a manager?
I would say to keep in mind that people are key, no matter what. So people skills are number one. You'll be dealing with people to move up. You'll be dealing with employees. You'll be dealing with people, customers coming in to see you. People skills are key altogether. And knowing the value of your employees is key to be a manager. At the end of the day, you can't get your job done without them. And they'll have their own struggles every now and then too. But as a manager, it's your responsibility to help through that. When they don't know something, it's on the manager to teach them. It's not the other way around, where if they don't perform, it's their fault. That's not always the case. Occasionally it can be, but predominantly it's up to you to figure out what's going on with them and how to get them to work more efficiently for you. And without them, they're the ones that do all the hard work at the end of the day. You're there to supervise that and make sure things happen according to plan, but they're the ones putting the labor in.
All right, thank you, Lewis, for taking time out of your busy day to sit down and answer my questions.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.